From the surface of an everyday object, reality appears to be a series of nested structures. Zooming in reveals a lattice of molecules, then the individual atoms, and finally the dense nucleus at the center. Standard physics models often describe the proton as a container. Open it up, and you find three foundational spheres called quarks resting neatly inside. If the proton were truly a container, you should be able to reach inside, grab a single quark, and pull it out to study it on its own. Yet experimental physics has never found a free-floating quark. Every attempt to isolate one has failed. Quarks cannot exist in isolation because their identity depends entirely on their relationship to the motion system surrounding them. Understanding this requires a shift in perspective. We have to look at motion theory, where reality is not built from things that move, but from structured motion itself. In this model, a quark is a substructural motion packet. It's a high-density, vibrating knot of energy with no hard edges or solid surfaces. The proton is the confined storm that holds these packets together, a dynamic, boiling system of high-intensity motion. This diagram shows what occurs when you attempt to pull one of these motion packets away from the central storm. As the distance grows, the connection stretches into a tension tube. You are injecting a massive motion budget directly into the binding region. The system absorbs that energy until the tension reaches a critical breaking point. At the moment of the snap, that concentrated energy converts into mass. The system uses your own input to spawn a brand new quark-antiquark pair to seal the broken ends. This is confinement. Demanding a single piece of matter only forces the universe to print more particles to maintain the coupled structure. This raises a question about the nature of the entire proton. If the individual quarks aren't solid marbles, why does the system have weight? When you add up the mass of 3 bare quarks, they account for a minuscule fraction of the proton's total weight. The scale only balances when you account for the intense internal motion and binding energy. This activity generates nearly all of the proton's mass. When you try to push a heavy object, you are fighting against its inertia, its resistance to being moved. Pushing a proton requires you to overcome the intense internal momentum of that confined storm. Mass is the physical measurement of that resistance. It is the reluctance of trapped motion to change its state. This subatomic resistance defines the macro world. Think of the sensation when you press your hand against a wooden table. If your hand and the table are both made of vibrating motion, there should be no physical reason they can't pass through one another. While electromagnetic repulsion plays a role, the structural boundary is maintained by the Pauli exclusion principle. Quarks and electrons cannot occupy the exact same motion state simultaneously. If a specific motion lane is filled, other particles bounce off. A table feels solid because its motion architecture already occupies its lanes, enforcing a boundary that physically rejects your hand. This suggests that even at the human scale, there are no dead blocks of matter. Massive macrostructures, from towering mountain ridges to dense planetary crusts, are simply nature's durable, long-term motion locks stacked on top of one another. Quarks represent the point where the classical object model completely breaks. They reveal a reality made entirely of motion, locked hard enough to become touchable.